for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank the committee. 5 years ago, I authored the primary legislation to legalize investment-based crowdfunding. That bill became a part of the Jobs Act and is now law. Regrettably, after the SEC issued its final rules, what is now Title III of the Jobs Act, investment crowdfunding, is far different than what I originally had in mind when I wrote my bill in 2011. With the work of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, in 2011 we passed a bipartisan bill out of this committee and off the House floor. With the additions of amendments and suggestions by Congressman Perlmutter, with the additions and suggestions by Ranking Member Waters, and with additions and suggestions and a major amendment in particular by Congresswoman Maloney, we were able to pass that bipartisan bill, a compromise out of the House. Well, lo and behold, the Senate screwed it up. But it's been law and is law, and after reviewing it in a bipartisan way, watching the SEC, watching how they write the regs, getting feedback from the investing community and small businesses, we have today a compromise to update and fix what is existent law. This is a substantial undertaking we have before us. The finalized SEC rules have some significant structural problems that I fear, if not properly addressed, will make it extremely difficult for investment crowdfunding to take hold as it needs to in the United States. To address this issue, Ranking Waters and I have worked on legislation that fixes some of the problems with the SEC's finalized rules and the law as it stands in Title III of the Jobs Act. In particular, crowdfunding is suffering from the so-called 12G problem, and by which crowdfunded companies are subject to SEC reporting requirements similar to that of public companies, but at a very low asset threshold. This is costly. Our proposed amendment fixes the 12G problem by raising the asset threshold for both small businesses that already have revenue and for those startups that do not yet have revenue. This makes it more likely that high-growth companies will consider crowdfunding as an option for raising capital. Another significant problem for crowdfunding is that under SEC rules, single-purpose funds are not permitted. We addressed this in this discussion on angel investing. Ranking Members Waters brought this up, and ensuring that these special purpose funds can have the impact and the necessary impact on informing investors. According to one crowdfunding portal, over 80% of the companies that were interested in investment crowdfunding dropped out when they were informed that single-purpose funds are not an option. Similar to angel funds, single-purpose funds allow investors to invest along with more sophisticated lead investors who have a fiduciary duty to advocate for their interests. That means better terms and greater transparency for those investors. Moreover, a single-purpose fund improves the cap tables for companies that hope to attract venture capital in the future. This helps. Our proposed amendment ensures that the single-purpose funds are allowed to participate in investment crowdfunding. This provides everyday investors the ability to team with more sophisticated lead investors and create another way to raise capital for small businesses. Although the proposed amendment does not include everything that I'd hoped for and that I'd worked for, after 5 years of watching this, analyzing it, what we have today is a bipartisan compromise to improve investment crowdfunding and to make those necessary corrections that need to occur now. While we've negotiated a good working bill, our work is not done. This committee is always in an ongoing process of watching what the regulatory bodies do, responding and reacting to the marketplace as well, and changing laws as necessary. We must continue to work as necessary to ensure that investment crowdfunding in particular realizes its true potential and meets the demands of American small businesses that seek to raise capital. Again, I thank the chairman, I thank the ranking member, I thank the great committee staff on both sides of the aisle that have worked diligently to make this a good bill, a necessary bill, and for us to get this done in a bipartisan way. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, and I yield back.